Hey guys, I hope you are having a good week so far. Once again, this is Brenton Harrison of Henderson Financial Group, and we are here with another video for you that will hopefully help you grow together and grow with us when it comes to your finances and your financial stewardship and knowledge. In the last video, we covered some of the tips that you can follow if you are interested in investment real estate, renting your first property or flipping a property. And today we're going to talk about something that's really more relevant for people who have corporate benefits or things at work that they're trying to figure out how they work. And that is something called pre-tax payroll deductions. So if you are not familiar, a pre-tax payroll deduction is something we're going to cover today. And we're going to get started on that right now. So let's get into it. What is a pre-tax payroll deduction? Well, if you are not familiar, a pre-tax payroll deduction is a company benefit and you pay for it before taxes are assessed against your check. So every year you guys probably get a packet of information that your employer gives you telling you here are the things that we're going to give you as a benefit. And for some of those, you'll see pre-tax is how you pay for it. And that means that once you pay for it, then after it has been paid for, you'll have taxes assessed against your paycheck. Now, there are some pre-tax deductions that make sure that they take that payment out before income taxes are assessed against your paycheck. And there are some that are specifically set aside so that they're taken away before Social Security and Medicare taxes are taken from your paycheck. So if you think about it logically, if you have something where you get paid and then money goes away from your check before you pay taxes, you're going to have those taxes paid on a smaller amount, which means you hopefully pay less in taxes. So I want to show you an example. This is by far a far more simplistic example than how you actually have taxes assessed in terms of how much you pay, but I just want you to see how it might look on paper to understand the concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two people. One of them has a company that offers insurance that they can pay for with a pre-tax payroll deduction, and the other does not. So we're going to give them the same salary. We're going to give them $5,000 a month as their salary. And the health insurance that they're going to pay for is going to be the exact same amount. It's going to be $300. And I want you to see how this breaks down with a pre-tax and a non-pre-tax deduction. So let's look at the person who first has no pre-tax deduction. They have a $5,000 salary. And if I said they're going to pay 15% in taxes, just as an example, they're going to pay 15% on $5,000, which is $750 in taxes. And after taxes, they have $4,250 left. Now, they have to pay for their health insurance. So they take that $4,250 after taxes, and they take out the $300 in health insurance, and they have $3,950 remaining. So that is how it works when you don't have the option of paying for your health insurance before taxes are taken out of your check. The taxes are going to be taken off of the full paycheck. Now, conversely, let's look at the person who has the pre-tax payroll deduction. They get the same salary, $5,000, but their health insurance comes out before taxes are assessed. So $5,000 minus the $300 health insurance means that they have $4,700 before taxes. Now we take that $4,700 and they still pay 15%, but on a lower number. Instead of paying it on the $5,000, they are instead paying it on the $4,700, which means that they pay less in taxes. And if you look at their paycheck, they end up having about $45 more at the end of the month, even though it is the same pay, the same tax rate, and the same cost for the insurance. The fact that they have a pre-tax payroll deduction really gives them a boost. This is how the concept of pre-tax deductions work. So what are some of the pre-tax payroll deductions that are out there? What do they look like? Well, some of them you might be familiar with. They are really popular, and one of them that is the most popular is something called your traditional 401k. So if I look at your traditional 401k, that is a really popular retirement option where you put money into your retirement account before income taxes are assessed against your paycheck. Now, because you don't pay taxes on that contribution up front, the flip side of that is you do have to pay income taxes on the money that you take out of these accounts when you retire. So this may not be the best option for you. You may instead choose to do a Roth retirement account, like a Roth 401k. And with that, it's just the opposite. You put your money in after it has been taxed in exchange for not paying income taxes in retirement. But the traditional 401k is still a really, really popular pre-tax payroll deduction. Another is insurances. Like we said, health, life insurance, disability insurance. These are often coverages and benefits that companies will offer and allow you to pay for it with a pre-tax payroll deduction. Now we're going to get into something that I think is really valuable and I would say underused, and that is health savings accounts like an HSA, flex spending accounts like an FSA, and dependent care flex spending accounts, which is something that I really, really want to cover. I'm going to give it its own slide. Now, a health saving account or an HSA, this is something that you can pair with a high deductible health insurance plan, and you can use it to pay for your medical expenses. So if you have a high deductible plan, essentially what an HSA is, it's an account where you can put cash aside before taxes are assessed on your check, and you can use that money to pay for some of the things that are involved in your health insurance to make sure that you get some tax benefits for the money that you're already putting aside towards your coverage. Now, in 2018, if you're an individual, the contribution limit to an HSA is $3,450. And if you are a family, that limit is increased to $6,900. So HSA has to be paired with a high deductible health insurance plan, but a flex spending account is something that can also be used for medical expenses, but it doesn't have to be paired with a particular health insurance plan. So it's something that has a little more flexibility, but because of that flexibility, it does have lower contribution limits. So per employee, doesn't matter, family, what have you, per employee in 2018, you can put aside $2,650 into a flex spending account to pay for some of your medical expenses. Now, I talked about a dependent care flex spending account, and that's actually a lot different. And again, I think this is something that is greatly, greatly underutilized, especially by parents of young children and even parents who are responsible for their parents and have some senior care responsibilities. So a dependent care flex spending account is an account where you put money aside, and instead of you paying for it post-tax, you do pay with pre-tax contributions, but it is designed to pay for things like dependent care expenses. So in 2018, the individual limit is $2,500, and if you are married filing your taxes jointly, that limit jumps to $5,000. So what are the types of things that this can pay for? Eligible dependent expenses could be something like babysitters. It could be something like after school care. It could be nursery school or preschool. So if you have young children and you're already paying for a babysitter, you're already paying for pre-kindergarten or preschool, school supplies, you can pay for those things and have them come out of your check and get a tax deduction for it because of the way that these payroll expenses are taken out before taxes. Again, we talked about senior care. So unfortunately, many people out there are in the position where they have to pay for the care of ailing parents. And fortunately enough, dependent care flex spending accounts also provide for that. So if you're in a situation where you have to pay for an adult daycare center or even something like home health care, this is something you can use this account to take care of. And I highly, highly advise you to look into it if this is something that your job has eligible for you, or even if you can find a way to do it through another means, it's definitely something that's worth looking into. That is it. This is a quicker video than we typically do, but I hope it really shed some light on how these pre-tax payroll deductions work and how they can benefit you at your job. If you are looking for ways to find us, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BrentonHFG. We're on Twitter at BrentonHFG. And of course, as always, if you have topics that you want to see us cover in the future, you can submit those by going to my website, www.brentonharrison.com. And under the blog section, there is a questionnaire that you can fill out for topics that you would like to see in the future. So I really appreciate you guys sharing time with us again today. Please share this video with as many people as you can. We want to help as many people as we can. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on these platforms so you can see our content as soon as it is available. I'll see you guys next time.